the way we expected, sorry, we experience TV shows compared to the traditional weekly release models. In my case, I am the opposite of you, Clinton. I prefer to binge watching sometimes. I was without doing it for more than months, and I spent this weekend doing it. I know it is not so good. Sometimes I have a feeling like I waste my whole weekend watching a specific series. But maybe I guess it's interesting because I got flu on Friday, I guess, and not so good. And I give me this time to relax. And I am not so good about my memory. And then when I need to watch like an episode by week, I forgot sometimes what I watched until the next one was released. So in my case, I prefer movies or watching the TV series at once. Like, oh, let's finish it because I know that my memories doesn't help me too much. But at the same way, I think binge watching is not so good for our life because as I said, I feel like I'm wasting my day or my weekend doing only one thing, you know. So I feel a little guilt about this.
So something that is nice about binge watching is specific weather that you
Oh,
are experiencing at the moment. And if you're sick for some reason, this matches perfectly, I think, with this
I
kind of.
guess it's the best excuse, right?
Yes. And you, Romeo, are you there?
Guys, be honest, I don't know this term, binge watching, but I
Binge,
think I don't understand. I think I understand the Camila said. Let me see. Uh,
uh,
so,
would you like me to explain the term?
yeah, yeah, please.
Uh, Binge watch is basically when Netflix release all the seasons of all the episodes of a season at once instead of weekly, right? Compared to the past. In the past, TV series was basically released each episode a week. And the Netflix model is different. They like to release all at once, so you can watch it a marathon, like we usually say,
Oh,
a series.
okay, okay. I think it's a new term for me. I need to learn about, but I got it. Uh, I think about this question. What can I say? Uh, po- possibility, possibility for for me and the others. Can watch or absorb many information for what can I say? The streaming, specifically Netflix and the others, because you can understand a series. How can I say? A last seasons or uh, how can I say? The season that is same que acabou de ser lançada. I don't know se disse em inglês. Okay. Yeah, I think it's good because you probably cannot feel lost. You know, if you want uh, returning for first first what can I say? First episode for understand it better. I think you can or probably you can understand it very well. You know, I I try to how can I say in English acompanhar some episodes about how can I say this series House Dragon. I don't say. If
House of
you,
Dragons.
but I yeah, but it's hard for me because I have enough time for try understand and like you said the marathon in English. I don't know marathon for watching. and they absorb many information, And I try to watch the, how can I say, more recently season, But it's very good this opportunity to watch many seasons or old seasons, you know. Yeah, I think that is it, Clinton.
Got it. So basically, you prefer to binge watching a TV series instead of have to wait 1 week to see the other episode.
No, I like watch like the question asked, you know. I think the only series that I can watching for whole episodes it is expired, you know. I started watching in the TV. I think is Record, uh, but I think I don't know, não sei dizer a partir de qual episódio, qual sessão parou de ser exibido. I need to watch in the Fox, but I think nowadays Fox can show this, and how can I say, some streams have all the season, and I can watching or repeat the other episode that I like so much, you know. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, well, when I um, I like to follow this subject because I'm not a huge fan of binge watching because, for example, in the past, TV series weren't designed to be as cinematic as it is today. For example, you have uh, more budget to make series compared to the past, and the stories are more complex compared to the past. In the past, we could watch a TV series while we was doing another thing, cleaning the house, for example. It was more similar with soap operas, which we know today. And um, after HBO started to make more complex plots, it's etc. And in my opinion, after this, it's more complicated to binge watch, for example, because you can lose a lot of details in these stories. And I brought this theme because of Severance, TV series that is many people is talking about at the moment, and it's not a binge watching series. Apple TV decided to release just one episode per week, and it's a complex story. You have to interact with people to understand the details because a lot of things you can understand what's happening or the reason why things are happening. And when you started to talk about and dig more, see theories on Reddit, on Twitter, you started to create a different environment surrounded this series. And it's much different if, for example, you see now Netflix adolescence, right? The one which is everyone is talking about. Everyone is talking about for this moment, but from 2 weeks from now, nobody's going to talk to about this series because another one is going to show up on Netflix and is going to take the place of this. And in my opinion, this is sad because you can last much more time the discussions about the theme, which is very important to our society to discuss about. But once you are showing new things every week, and you don't have time to process this amount of information. So it's like enter in a year and going out on another, like we say here in Brazil. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of binge watching. Um, but yeah, it depends of the series. I brought a example of how good can be a series, but there are other TV series which is okay to watch all the episodes at once, and you're going to enjoy. You're not going to miss so much because the series was designed to be consumed that way, which are most of the Netflix series, for example. So that's it. Question number 2, Romeo. Could you read an answer for us, please?
Sure. Let me see. Do you think binge watching makes shows more forgettable? Why do some series become instant hits but fade away within a week? It's a hard question. Um, uh, Let me see. I think, in my opinion, I think no. You know, yeah, because um, when you this category, how can I say this kind of the sharing like stream can um how can I say this can include in many series, you know. I think the menus the variety series very hard, very large, I think, you know. I think there's many kinds that is series that you don't like, probably. But uh, the series that you like, or the program that you like, uh, I think, how can I say? I think, I think hardly you forget, you know, because you like, because you identify this kind, you know. But in my opinion, no, no, because I think keep this file, this series, this movie, keep in there, you know, continue in there. When you discard, how can I say, a desire for watching again, uh, you know, can watch many times, you know. It's hard to explain, but I think that's
All right. And you, Camila, do you agree with him?
Um, I guess nowadays we have the terrible habit of watching something in the same way that you are scrolling our cell phone or doing the dishes. And this makes us binge watching a series without make the real attention for that. And maybe this could be forgettable easily, but in my case I used to watch the same series if I like it more than once because I try to pay attention for the second time, like, oh, let's pay attention to the details. I watched Severance, as you said, once a week. For me was awesome because I could take a moment to see the reviews, to discuss, to spark. You put here a good idiomatic expression, spark discussions, and watching the reviews and have a conversation here in the platform. We have a lot of immersion discuss about it. So for me, it's a good way because I can spend only 15 minutes a week to watch something, and I need really to pay attention at Severance episode because it was so weird at the beginning, and then we need to pay attention to the details and everything. So I guess it's a good way, and this keep us paying more for the streaming, right? Because we spend more than 1 month to follow all the seasons. So for the streaming, could be a good option. As Netflix, if I want to watch something, I can watch in a weekend and finish it. So could be something for them more I don't know, better because they can get more revenue for this. But in my case, I think if I watch it at once, could be binge watching. And what another part of the question uh, becomes instant hits but fade away in a week. This series that you said about the adolescents, I guess this was only 4 chapters, I guess, 4 episodes. And then we have a lot of discussion about it. But as you said, we are going to forget this in, I don't know, next month. Was something really shocked, I guess. And this was the main point, in my opinion. This is not a series like Game of Thrones to be remember for everyone. Was just like a award for the society, in my opinion. So some series don't need to be something really big as Game of Thrones, in my opinion, or Severance. They are just a warning for our society, or I don't know, the moment that we are living. So I guess this is a different perspective of the kind of series.
Interesting point of view, because uh, I never saw this thing of launching every episode at once in this specific kind of series. It's not a TV series, a long TV series, like you said. Adolescence is just 4 episodes, and we have another mini series like
Mhm.
this. And yeah, I never thought that this side of it could be just a warning, so it's not necessary a thing that we can spend weeks or months if it was a longer season to discuss about that's something to consider. I just think that usually companies like this are not worrying about giving us these kind of warnings. It's more a thing of get us in front of the TV, and
Mhm.
there are only numbers for their perspective. For example, they spend more than 300 millions on a terrible move recently, and for them, it was a success because everyone played that film on Netflix, and although nobody talked about it, there wasn't any discussion about the 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 biggest discussion was how much money was spent to make a bad movie. So- but for them it was a success, so it's crazy, but I can't understand this. Doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me, because like you
They,
said, if uh, in the case of Severance, they separated it was a 10 episode series, so basically 2 months and a half. So basically, you stick with your subscriber for a longer period. So
yeah.
it's much easier um, to make people continue inside their platform and wait to another episode, and they are still paying the subscription. So um, and like we have, I don't know, 10 streaming apps, different kinds of streaming companies. It's impossible to subscribe all of them. So people are starting to choose more carefully what they are going to subscribe to a smaller period, and looking what is going to be released. For example, HBO this month is going to started to release The Last of Us, so a lot
Oh,
of people are going to go back with their subscription because of this, and it's a weekly a release episode. So people is going to stick with this subscription for a long period. So in my view, you can create more discussion, make people talk more about your company
yeah.
for a longer period, but
Yeah.
it's hard to understand. I think they only do this Netflix because they were the pioneer of this thing of streaming. So they are the biggest one today. They have the most amount of subscribers, and unfortunately, most of the people are not worried about the quality of they are watching. Otherwise, I think I doubt that so many people would continue to subscribe for this amount of people and not looking for another options and say, oh, I'm going to, I don't know, spend a few months here at HBO. Severance is going to be released now. I'm going to move to Apple TV and let Netflix away for a few months. So it's hard to me to understand this. Um, and so in my opinion, yes, it's much more forgettable, this series, like binge watched by people than the example Game of Thrones, Lost in the past.
Yeah.
The most famous TV series were released weekly, not at binge watching format. So that's my take on that.
Clinton, another thing that I would like to say, it's about the spoiler because Severance, I was running to watch because Twitter was sharing so much spoiler, so I didn't want to watch it. So I was, oh my gosh, I need to watch today. So it's one thing that makes you pain, right? You don't want to see spoiler there. So
Exactly. And every episode, there's a thing that it's a big spoiler.
yeah.
Um, with this smaller TV series, like in the past, we had 24 episodes per season, which was crazy. And today we see like 10 episodes. 12 it's a big city, consider a big city nowadays, and it's easier to get spoiled and frustrated if you're not watching and you open the social media and the spoilers are going around. So
Yeah.
definitely try to avoid social media when a episode was released. I try to first watch the episode and just after that open Twitter, for example, because I know that something is going to come up in front of me and I would be so pissed off. um, okay, so question number 3, Camila. Go ahead, please.
Okay, shows like Game of Thrones or most recently Severance sparked discussions for months. Do you think releasing episodes weekly helps building a stronger fan community? Oh, for sure, of course. I know some YouTuber channels here in Brazil that they are really bigger right now just because they are discussing Severance. Every week they have a video to explain about the theory about the severance, and they became bigger just because the series. Because I am one of the subscribers because I would like to know their opinion about something that I missed or losing. In their perspective of their point of view about the series was really helpful for my understanding, my knowledge about the series. So I totally understand that makes the story being in the trendy topics, for example, because every week someone is questioning or asking something about the TV series in the social media in general. So I guess for sure. Today we have the White Lotus last episode, I guess, and everyone is talking about it. So I didn't watch it. I guess it's 9 p.m. I'm not sure, but I know that everyone is talking about it, so it's a good strategy, I guess, in my opinion. You can spend 1 week discussing about the next and the last episode. So for me, it's the great strategy.
Very nice. Thank you, Camila. And you, Romeo, what do you think about this one?
I think so. Uh, Many people wait a lot for new seasons, you know, because watch. I think like the last season and they wait a lot. I think so. It's looked anxious for start this new season. You know, yeah, I think how can I say how can I say, improve or for let's say this notice maybe the fan club, I think, because I think it is so clear the expect for start new episodes. Yeah, I think that is it.
I'll try to give another perspective about this question, because I was remember now how people often feel so frustrated after, for example, Netflix cancel a series,
Oh,
because they said the 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 amount of audience uh, was uh, was small. So I mean, few people watched that series. But the problem is, when you release all at once, all the episodes at once, and for you, at a company perspective, the only metric that it matters is the first week for them. So if people didn't watch the series in the first week, if it wasn't a hit in the first week, for them it was a bad deal. For them it was a terrible result for this series. On the other hand, if you, for example, started to release this episode first, or first and second episode, sometimes people companies do this and release the first two episodes of the season. And after this, we started to see people discussing about and say, oh, this is an interesting new show that is on Netflix. So you give more time to producers to see the uh, what they sow, o que eles plantaram, grow up. So because not every show it's a hit and go and you like it. The first episode, in my opinion, of Severance is not
oh
a
my
good
gosh.
it's not a so good episode. A lot of
Yeah.
people hated because it lacks of rhythm, so people feel slow, and it takes I think 3-4 episodes to start the engines actually of the series. And if this series was released on Netflix and people watched the first two episodes and decided it wasn't worth it, so it would be detached by Netflix, so they would give up of this series. For them would be a total loss, the result. So for me, this is the biggest problem. If the series wasn't watched in the first week, it's game over for them, unfortunately. So that's the it's impossible to build a community, a fun community, if you only took this only metric of the first week of watching. So that's the problem. Okay, so question number 4, Romeo. Could you read and answer, please? You're muted.
Okay, sorry guys.
Okay.
Have you ever felt brain hot from reading, watch too many episodes in one sitting? How does it affect your enjoyment of a show? Uh, Guys, be honest, I never feel this because I I've never been watching many episodes for season. You know, I think I try watch like a marathon, but I cannot. I feel I can't pay attention very well in the plot. You know, I try to watch in Netflix the The series, the name is Sex Education. I like it some episodes, but I try watch so fast the second season, you know. But I think changing so much the first plot, you know. So I think I think I found the last season because in the last season changed the school for all the school. Some how can I say personage change in the last season, or how can I say uh, oh my gosh, how can I say sumiram? Uh, yeah, don't have in the last season, you know. I think you can. Well, it's not good, you know. But one day I think I try watch completely full uh for have this opinion, you know, because I cannot. I cannot. I feel like stressed, boring for uh, watching more 2 episodes. You know. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Romeo. And you, Camila? Do you felt, do you feel, uh,
Consume
the,
about something. I was the product today, guys. I was the product today. I spend all my day watching a specific TV show. The name is The Outsider. It's from HBO. I'm not sure about it. And this is about a book from Stephen King. And as I said, I was sick, and then I allowed myself to do it, but I don't like it. I feel like, as I said, I wasted all my Sunday doing it, and I feel like brain rot because it's like, oh, what is the necessity of that? So I don't want, but sometimes I do it. And I think it was about the last question, Clinton. I think it was really interesting what you said about the Netflix because I watched Stranger Things and 13 Reasons Why just because people were talking about this in that period. It was released at once. So I guess this is the opposite of Apple TV and HBO because they are attracting people talking about this in like a 1 week or 15 days and you felt curious about this and you decide to watch it. I'm not a big fan of Strange Things. For me, this is a overrated series. This is not my cup of tea. And it was the same about 13 Reasons Why, because they can put this on subway station about the series, about everything, and you felt curious about that, and you decide to watch it. And the same day that would be released. So I think was really interesting what you said about the community and the difference about the others streaming that Netflix because they makes like oblige you to watch it in the same week just because they talk about it before in the subway a station in a bus stop and then you feel curious like oh my gosh I need to watch this. I felt the same as I said with Stranger Things and 13 Reasons Why because they spend a lot of money about the advertisement talking about the series, and I don't think the Apple TV do it the same. They are just releasing something really good and you just like a surprise for you. You need to discover that by yourself. So I guess this is the difference about them.
you gave a good example of Stranger Things because even even Netflix, they kind of did something like split the seasons in part one, part
Oh.
two, to make people feel
Mhm.
this emotion of have to wait a few months to know what's going to happen in the other half of the season. So
Yeah.
they did this. So it helped a lot to make
Mhm.
people uh, talk more about the show, etc. So it wasn't a weekly episode, but they split the seasons in part one, part two. Sometimes they do this. So I remember Stranger Things is one of these cases. And you said another good thing about advertisement. So, Apple TV has this fame of not investing in advertising their content, and they in my opinion did a much better job on this season 2 of
Yeah.
Severance, because I'll every almost every day during the episodes were releasing, I was talking with my wife, and I was showing to her people talking about Severance, and she watched the first episode, she hated, and wasn't to watch the other ones. So I was st- I was sticking with her to show that, to show her, oh, see it, everyone is talking about, even Maurício de Souza, Turma da Mônica, made
Yeah.
a post about Severance, so everyone is talking about the shit, and you have to watch it.
Yeah.
It furou a bolha. I don't know how to say this in English.
Yes.
Totally. And part of this was because of their advertise, which was better compared to all the other shows, and compared to the first season, which was very badly advertised. So they are improving a little bit. It's not not even close about Netflix, because Netflix is on the like you said, the subway, so you see the big train
Yeah.
coming all plotted in the series. I remember when I was to Formula One, and it was the period that Senna series was going to be released.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I saw Senna in every corner of São Paulo during that week that I was in São Paulo. So they do a really good job in advertising. So yeah, I agree with you. It's important to advertise well. Uh, let's jump to the other question. Question number, let me see. Question number 5. Camila, go ahead with question number 5, please.
Sure. Do you prefer watching a show at your own pace or following a weekly schedule? Why? It depends of the series. If I need to put too much energy to understand the series, I prefer to watch it weekly. As I said, I did it with several these kind of things. I needed some help to understand or to get insights or to make sure that I was really in the, I don't know, in the knowledge of the series. So for me, it was necessary. But in the other hand, I can say, for example, Game of Thrones, I was not following the series in that period. I was out of the bubble. And then everyone was, oh, you need to watch and you need to watch it. And I remember that I take a short vacation at my job and I decided to watch it in once, like in one sitting. And then I watched everything about Game of Thrones. So was really good for me because I could talk with people, have a spark discussion with them. I felt like this about Ted Lasso because I didn't watch it and I know that everyone loves it. So I guess depend of the kind of discussion in this series. For example, Stranger Things, I don't need to have so much discussion about it, but Severin is a kind of difficult to get it. Or maybe Silo and Apple TV, it's a kind of the disruptor series, TV series, and I love it. This kind of, so I guess makes us imagine the world like this. So it's depend of. I love true crime, so I can spend one day watching a TV series about a true crime, but I don't need to pay too much attention of that. I can do the dishes, I can eating, have dinner, or have lunch in watching. So it's depends of.
All right. And you, Romeo, do you prefer to watch all at once, at your own pace, follow a weekly schedule? Why?
No, I prefer in my own pace. because I don't have enough time. I would like uh, had to have time for watching, but I don't have. You know, I have many schedules, and watching when I decide watching something, uh, it's because I try to, how can you say, try relax, because my job has many, how can I say this, many things that I need to solve that I bring from my home for try solving, especially, how can I say this in English, signings, I think, not sign, fichas para preencher, I don't know, say this, you know, I don't remember. And nowadays, I decided to study for other graduation. In my free time, how can I say? I study a lot. Especially in the weekends. My weekends, I spend only for study for my second graduate. You know, I think I don't have the hype, but it's always possible. I try to watch for, how can I say, for enjoy, for relax. But I prefer watching my own place. All right.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like this too. Uh, I like Camila said, it depends of the kind of the series, if it's more brain requested or if it's more easy to go. Uh, for example, Stranger Things is a very easy to go. You don't have to think too much about what's going on, and it's easier to get the story, the plot happening, and you understand what's happening, and you don't have to overthink about like Silo or Severance. And even Game of Thrones, it's a easy series to binge watching. So usually my own pace is binge watching, or for example, I don't worry too much to wait 2 or 3 weeks to have more episodes to watch at once instead of watching weekly, because most of the time with TV series I try to watch with my wife, and she doesn't like everything that I like, so I have to match my taste with hers, and it's complicated sometimes. And because of this, I try to understand if she's going to have more time or less to watch it, and depend of the moment, I prefer to wait a few weeks and watch at once. I don't know, 4 episodes. We did Silo like this, so I didn't watch it weekly, but after 3 4 weeks we watched uh, the until what's the episode of the week, I don't know, episode 6, something like this. And after this we had to wait a few weeks to to
Yeah.
to to see another ones, because she's working too much. So basically, uh like you, Romeo, it's a lot of schedules that I have to match with her, and it's complicated to watch a series, especially because um it demands much more from you compared to a movie, because a movie after 2 or 3 hours it's over and that's it, the story is over. And a TV series is more, you have to be committed to watch it. So a bit of both. In my case, it depends of the series. Severance style, weekly, please. But it was more action, less brain requested to watch it. Whatever, whatever happens. um. Okay, so let me see what is now the next question. Question number 6, Romeo. Go ahead, please.
How does the way we consume TV today affect the pop culture? Are we missing out on shared cultural moments? It's a hard question.
Deep one.
I don't, I don't know. I don't know. Be honest. How can I say? Uh, Pop culture. I don't know. I think it depends the person or the moment. I think because I don't pay attention in this. Like the question asked. I never think about. You know, because I continues see the how can I say the the culture, especially in my city, my state, continue without interference with with the this, But I don't know say the answer. I prefer don't talk about because I don't know. Be honest. Sorry.
No problem. And you, Camila, what do you have anything to talk about this one? It's a
Yeah,
more deep question, I think.
yes, this kind of content affect a lot our cultural, I don't know, way to consume things. As I said, Stranger Things became a huge thing, like for everyone. If you go to a place to buy a t-shirt or a pajama, you can find this from Stranger Things. So if you don't know what is, you feel like, oh my gosh, what is that? What's brand is that? You don't know about this is a series. This is what is that? So I guess this influence and affect a lot the things that we consume because the people feel, I don't know, connected with that in some way. Maybe can be teenagers. They felt like this is would be really good, so let's try to use that. And the Netflix enjoy it to sell things. This is not only about to pay your monthly bills about this streaming. You want to get other things by yourself. You want maybe to use the same t-shirt that they are using in the episode. So I guess this affect a lot the cultural way. About Severance, I heard that in London, they are doing some kind of events, and you can take some photos in the same place that they are recording an episode. So, can you imagine how good it is, or to have I don't know a card from the Lumon? So we became addicted to this, and we felt you want to be part of this. So I guess this influence a lot our culture, and the things that we buy could be something that you want to get a memory for that. So social media helps a lot in this way, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to that way of social media impact. Maybe for people who doesn't follow the what's trending on social medias on Twitter, it's harder to them to feel this belonging of
Yeah.
community. And for me, it's easier because I like to be on Twitter, watch what's going on, what is trending, topics, etc. I can filter well the bad things of this social media specifically because a lot of people dislike them a lot. But for me, it's okay to deal with this. I can filter quite well because I try to um I forgot the word, but I try to shape the algorithm with
Okay.
things that I like and I wanted to see. So if I watch something that doesn't make sense to me to see, I just click on it and try to not see again. and it's really easy to shape the algorithm to start to see these things about the show that is everyone is talking about at the moment, sports that I like, etc. So, but I like the example that you gave about, for example, see people wearing t-shirts about this show, and I never thought about this because when I was a kid, this happened a lot with bands, rock bands,
Yeah.
pop stars, pop bands, this kind of things. And today we see much more frequently people wear T-shirts about TV series, movies, Marvel, uh, Marvel stuff, and it's easier to get attached to these contents compared to the past, and it helped a lot of this merchandising thing. So I agree with you. Even if you don't know the series, for example, but if you started to see people wearing shirts about this, you you feel obligated to know what's going on. What is this thing
Yeah.
that people are talking about or wearing shirts? Or if you're taking a subway and it's all plotted about this thing, and "Oh, this is big, so I have to know what is this." So
Yeah.
and it's a mix of offline marketing and online marketing. So
Yeah.
online, you see on social medias, on Twitter, people talking about this, discussing, creating theories, and offline is the company um, making advertising or wearable things. So just to finish, I don't the last question, are you missing out on shared cultural moments? I think it's quite the opposite. It's easier to get attached with things compared to the past because when I was younger, I watched, for example, Lost when I was a teenager. So it was difficult to find people who were discussing about, because there wasn't Twitter, we had your coach, but it, it's not even close what it is today. It's much more easier to, like you said, if you didn't understand episode, you open YouTube and search about this episode, and there is 3 4 Brazilian YouTubers talking about this. In the past, you could see some content about this, but it was in English, for example. There wasn't regional content about this, so it's much easier to build these cultural moments, in my opinion. Um, okay, so let's go to another last one because our time is overing, but we have some time to the last one. Question number 7. Romeo, go ahead, please.
Okay, streaming platform constantly push new content. Do you think this makes it harder for truly great shows to stand and stay relevant? Let me see. I yes, I think the, the TV show, how can I say, best, how can I say, copy these all inspired in TV shows uh, from other countries, especially the US and the Europe too. And try start in Brazil, you know, mm, especially in TV, in free TV, I think, TV aberta, and some programs can make you uh, good result, you know. But when the people don't like uh, this program, usually it's over, Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Romeo. And you, Camila, what's your take on
Well,
this?
I guess about the Netflix, I try to accept it, the new content because the algorithm, I guess, is okay for me. I use it a lot, Netflix, not a lot, but I use for a long period. So I guess they know my taste of these things to watch it. But I try to pay attention in the others thing that will be released because not all then it's about, for example, I could watch it some comedies there. I'm not a big fan of comedy, but could be something that I in that moment I want to watch it, for example. So I guess we need to accept it, the new content, but we need to pay attention to the other things because not everything could be your fit. So they can try something that was really good for you, but maybe you are losing something good instead of pay attention in the other streamings too. So I guess we need to be aware about the others' opinions, not options, not opinions. Sorry.
Yeah, we of course we talk all the time about Netflix because they are the biggest ones, the biggest one on this matter. But like you said, there are a lot of good content being produced in other streaming platforms, other companies. And in my case, I don't like to just open, for example, Netflix and watch what's going on at the moment. People on the top 10, something like this. I don't get this bait easily. I try to, for example, see some reviews without spoilers to understand what is about the show, and if it has good reviews or not, because the lack of time is something everyone has to deal. And I really don't go open-minded to anything that appears in front of me. I try to filter exactly according with what I like to watch in terms of genres. And after this, see if it's a bomb or not, because I try to avoid every time a bomb. So on movies or TV series, I always do this, see some reviews, some aggregators of ratings, and just after this, I give it a try. I don't open a streaming platform and play just because everyone is talking about, because there are a lot of trash out there. So I don't think the the difficult to find quality thing is because of streaming platform is constantly pushing new content. It's because everyone is pushing new content on YouTube and on all platforms, on social media. Their main goal is to make you consume your hours, 3 hours at their platforms, and it's on every app, whether it's a streaming platform or not. So this is not the problem. The problem is we accept that and just get the bait and don't have this critical think about filtering what's relevant or not for you, and try to select just the content that makes sense to you to spend your hours. So that's it, my opinion. All right, so that's it, guys. Fortunately, our time is gone. I left on the chat the link of our survey. It's anonymous, so feel free to give any feedback about this immersion. And I hope to see you in the next week, if possible, to have this conversation once again. Okay, it was nice conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Was nice. Thank you,
Thank
Clinton.
you.
Bye bye,
Have a good
guys.
Thank
night.
you, Romeo.